Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Making Magic Happen, brought to you by beautiful RIW Hobbies and Games in Livonia, Michigan. I'm Zach, and today I am joined by Kyle Boggemes. Kyle, how you doing, man?
Hey, good. How are you?
Pretty good, man. So, we are here today because Kyle wanted to test Legacy, right?
Yeah, there's 1K at the Upkeep, which is another Michigan store, on Saturday, and I haven't played Legacy in paper since before the pandemic, so I wanted to get some games in before that.
Sure, yeah, makes sense. And it's hard enough to get games in Legacy when there's no pandemic. With a pandemic, you're pretty much resigned to playing Magic Online. There's not really other options here.
Yeah.
So Kyle decided it's like, hey, I could test, but why don't we do a league on camera and let the people see what's going on? So we're gonna play a league together. We're gonna walk through it, kind of step by step together and discuss stuff because one, we're testing for your event, but we're also playing a team event the end of next month, I believe, sometime in November. And at that team event, I'm gonna be playing Legacy, but Kyle's gonna be sitting next to me. And it's a team event, so he could be presumably helping me if I need it. So good to just have an understanding of what's going on from both people. So we're gonna be talking about the deck, how we feel about it, the metagame, all those things. I know people are pretty unhappy with the format right now. They seem to think a banning needs to occur. Have you heard much about this? Any thoughts on it, Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, days brainstorm always a hot topic to ban or not, and now Ragavan's kind of entering the discussion as well. Ragavan's really good in Modern, but it's even better in Legacy. Just getting to hit Ponder and Brainstorm like kind of effortlessly is just like it's really strong. Not sure if it's ban worthy or not, but I definitely want to be trying Ragavan to make sure I'm not missing the boat.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to test out this card. It's a really strong card. For my 2 cents on it, I know people don't. I've had this argument, and people don't like my stance on it, but I think Brainstorm needs to be banned. Brainstorm is an unbelievably messed up card. It's way too good, and I think there's just like this agreement that it's like, well, it's way too good, but like we'll let it happen. And for my money, it's like, well, okay, that's fine. Like, if you want to live in the world where you're going to let this happen, then you kind of have to also live with the fact that it's going to make a best deck because the card's just so good, right?
Yeah, my first Legacy tournament was in 2004. I think there's been maybe like one tournament since '04 that I've played in Legacy that did not contain Brainstorm. Like, this is how I want to be playing Legacy for sure.
I mean, I have definitely played other decks. Like, I have played some Dark Depths decks. I have played some Death and Taxes. Those are the only ones. You play these other decks, and you're like, okay, I can see why this deck would be good. Yeah, it's like
real bad.
I can see why this deck would be good. It is doing powerful things. There's definitely strong points to it, but like, I can just put Brainstorm in my deck. Why aren't I doing that? It's so broken.
Yeah.
So on that note, we have decided to play some Brainstorm today and Ragavan. So let's get into the list a little bit. Kyle, where's this list coming from?
So the original list comes from Gary Wong, who won the Legacy Pit Open on September 18th, so a few weeks back. There's been some people who have picked the deck up. It's a little strange, It's like it's this Jeskai Ragavan deck, but it's not so focused on tempo like all the other Ragavan decks. Like, it plays Jace the Mind Sculptor, as you can see in the front. Like, there's a Jace in your Ragavan deck. It's kind of weird. So I wanted to try it because it's, I like to play more fair cards. I'm not so much about tempo usually, so this kind of like suited my play style. Yeah, so that's kind of the high level overview.
Sure, and I can definitely get behind it. One thing that I don't like about the tempo decks is to really, really punish them, you kind of need to be hitting off your Ragavan. And I think the best Ragavan decks look closer to this, where you do have a lot of cheap stuff. You are playing a lot of ways to push it through between Swords to Plowshares, Prismatic Ending, Force of Will, whatever, things that get clear the way for Ragavan so it can attack. But when you do hit, you are going to have like one or two more expensive things to kind of cast with the treasure mana in case you flip a couple lands off the top of their library.
Yeah, the treasure's very strong in this deck. Getting to ramp into Planeswalkers or Snapcaster Mage or cheating an extra land drop with Expressive Iteration. There's like a ton of options.
Yeah, and like the important part here the important part here too is like we're not going hard on it. We're not over reliant on Ragavan into like 3-drop or 4-drop. We just have the ability to do that by playing a couple 3s and 4s.
Yep, absolutely.
So I like, I obviously like the list. That's why I agreed to come and test it. It looks interesting to me as well. I think Expressive Iteration is a messed up card, and I for a while have really liked the disruption package of Prismatic Ending plus 6 force effects. I think it's really hard for decks to get things through that disruptive package. I think it's crazy that we have less than 3 Prismatic Ending in the main, but I didn't make the list, so I'm not gonna. But I think...
So the original list actually, yeah, Gary had 2 because he was playing 2 days, and the first thing I did is I watched some videos of people playing the 75. I didn't love how days played out. So I tried to make it basically cut the 2 days as for the 3rd ending and the 2nd wasteland, the 20th land. Because I just really like the 1-for-1s. They're really nimble.
Yeah, definitely. And okay, so I agree with you on those changes. Days to me can be very good in these decks, certainly, but I also am with you in that it ends up being awkward more often than you'd like, and we just don't need it between Prismatic Ending, Swords to Plowshares, and the 6 forces. You kind of can just answer everything all the time. Outside of that, you see a lot of the things you're seeing in Legacy anyway. Fetch lands, duels, Wasteland, Planeswalkers, Murktide, like the standard Murktide Regent, Dragon's Rage Channeler, Ragavan threat package. We do have 2 Narsets, which are really good against other people's cantrip packages. But the one thing that I really want to touch on in the deck tech here is we have a sideboard that essentially has 13 1-ofs and then 2 Pyroblasts. And I guess you can say Red Elemental Blast is a Pyroblast, so maybe more like 12 1-ofs and a 3-of. And I think that's really smart. Kyle, why do you like that many 1-ofs?
So this is... I actually didn't mess too much with Gary's original sideboard, so he took the same approach. And the idea here is Legacy has a lot of just insane linear strategies that get hosed by a single permanent that just stops them, like Grafdigger's Cage, Torpor Orb, Null Rod, etc. There's a ton of them in the sideboard. There's a lot of Narsets to help you find them. So everything kind of comes together. Narset like either finds a force or some kind of like deranged hate card in a lot of these matchups. And Jeskai always has like notoriously powerful sideboards. They always just get the most versatile answers, which is kind of why I wanted to be playing this deck.
Yeah, so I would totally agree with you that Jeskai does get great sideboards. One other point, you said Narset helps find it. I agree, Narset does, but we also ponder Brainstorm and Expressive Iteration. 1-ofs go a long way in Legacy. It is super... I mean, you're not always going to find the card, but it is a lot easier to find a 1-of in Legacy than it is in any other format. You just see so many cards like with all your cantrips throughout the game in this format. The other point on Jeskai having good sideboard cards, I would say in Modern, a lot of the sideboard cards you play are blue and white in your Jeskai deck. And you'll notice most of them here are red, and there's good reason for that. Red is one of the best sideboard colors in Legacy. In fact, it's so good that the Bant deck I typically play was splashing red just for red sideboard cards. Which is kind of a weird change, but I think important to note because Pyroblast is that good in this format.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like most of the sideboard is coming in against linear combo decks, like things that try to kill you on turn 1 or turn 2. Pyroblast and this 1 Narset in the sideboard is usually the only like kind of quote unquote fair sideboard cards I have, because the main deck is just a pile of generic interactions. So the sideboard here is where we get the really targeted answers for the graveyard decks and for the artifact decks.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's a pretty good breakdown of the deck. I don't think there's too much else going on. Before we get into the league, though, I'd like to remind everybody to take a second to click that like button and subscribe to the channel. Kyle and I would both really appreciate it if you do that. It helps us grow the channel, helps us keep making those videos. And if you want to take a second to comment down below with some other decks you'd like to see upcoming videos on, please do so, because we are happy to jump in with your 75 and run it through a league. And I think if you look around this, the landscape of Magic right now, you usually have to pay to have, quote unquote, pro players run through your list. You can just comment on the YouTube video and we'll go through it. So let us know. And Kyle and I are definitely happy to make more videos discussing your decks. But with that, Kyle, are you ready to go? You ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm ready to jam.
All right, let's jump in. All right, we are here for round one. Opponent is wishing us good luck and telling us to have fun. I appreciate that, JoJo.
Very nice.
So how do we feel about this, Kyle? We've got a 2-1 Ragavan.
Yes, hand looks solid.
I think we got to keep it. So you're telling me you cut down on the Murktide numbers?
Yeah, I cut down from 4 to 2. Because without Darcy, the graveyard doesn't fill up quite as much as Is It Delver. This deck's more about picking your spots to interact, rather than just like focusing purely on velocity.
Sure. Ooh, turn 1 Thoughtseize for our Ragavan. Not great for us there.
Good we're on the draw, and they mauled.
They took our Force Negation. So presumably they have a kill spell for Ragavan, which... not great. This doesn't really matter what land I play. I have a feeling we're going to get like Smallpox this turn. There's not a lot of decks to go Swamp Thoughtseize. Could be Doomsday though, I guess.
Yeah, or Storm play Swamp.
Storm does play a Swamp, sure. Yeah, okay. 2 basic Swamps. There's not a lot of decks in Legacy that play 2 basic Swamps.
Hopefully they go after our lands. We have enough.
I think we're getting Smallpox. Yeah, I can feel the Smallpox coming.
This is like a good hand to get Smallpox.
It is. I mean, we're not... Dark Ritual? Oh, no. Is it Liliana the Veil? That'd be even worse. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well... Goodbye, monkey. I guess maybe we could have saved it to dash. Maybe we were supposed to do that.
I like playing it because, like, if they have another discard spell, then it would be, we'd feel silly.
Sure.
But in general, yeah, it's definitely worth considering dashing against, like, the white decks in particular, with Prismatic Ending being a sorcery.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. We are going to want to dash a decent amount of the time against white decks. Against this deck, yeah, you're right. Keep me in hand against discard. And they probably are playing like Fatal Bushes too, so it probably won't even matter. Well, you get my swords. Rest of my hand doesn't do anything, so you got it.
Luckily, a Prismatic Ending can do with Liliana the Veil. It's not something that Tundra decks have had access to historically.
True. A lot of times you just got to play through it. The other Grave Titan in the yard? Oh my. I am now very scared. Yeah, I thought the Swords to Plowshare wasn't going to do very much, but well, see, here's the thing: is this looks like we're in bad shape, but God, do they have the reanimation spell too? Oh, they do. All right.
Oh, okay.
They just have all of the things.
Deck looks pretty cool.
It does look good. I mean, it's always going to look good when you have all of the things, though, right?
Yeah, I would definitely pick our side in the matchup. Sure.
Oh, that's a pretty good draw.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can come back from a Grave Titan. We need a Swords to Plowshares ASAP. These are not Swords to Plowshares.
Ooh, okay. So we want to brainstorm this turn.
Yes.
We want to draw Darcy, maybe.
One of them into your hand. Yeah, probably Dragon's Rage Channeler. One of them on the bottom of your library, definitely the Force, and exile one of them. Brainstorm. I think I screwed this up.
Oh, I think this is right. You play the Volk, and then brainstorm off the Volk, and then keep up. And we're like looking for the Swords and Plowshares.
Oh, okay. I see what you're trying to do.
That's what I was envisioning.
We didn't get there.
Get there. Huh.
Well. Murktide Regent can do a lot of work. I don't think I want either of these two cards.
Yeah, agreed.
At least Dragon's Rage. I think I need to discard Dragon's Rage, honestly. I think I need to ponder here and try to find Swords. Because if I do find a Swords, next turn doing Murktide Regent... No, this isn't doing it quite right either. That said, I think this is okay to keep.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
I'm putting the Tarn in my hand because of the Liliana Plus.
Yep.
We're taking 10 here,
sense.
which isn't great.
Yeah, no, we're super behind.
Yeah. We're in bad shape. If we had found a Swords, I think we would have been in good shape, but, you know, obviously we didn't, so here we are.
But definitely a good testament for how well this deck can come back, and why I cut the Mystic Sanctuary. Okay. Good. Only one down.
Yeah, the awkward thing here, though, is that I can't play Dragon's Rage to protect Murktide from a minus.
Yeah, we're still probably just dead.
Well, maybe. So I think I have to do it this way. They will minus Liliana. I'm going to 1. I do get the Swords of the Grave Titan. Yeah, we're probably still dead. But you never know. It's actually...
Yeah, we don't have any sweepers because they don't work well in Darcy Ragavan shells.
Yeah. It's actually interesting because it was better for them to plus there, and they just didn't. I mean, you wouldn't know that or assume that.
I agree.
Does Brainstorm do anything for us here? I'm drawing Tundra if I don't leave Brainstorm, or Plateau if I don't leave Brainstorm on top, so I think I have to, but I should have set in the other order now that I think about this. Yeah, I screwed that up.
Yeah, so I think we want that. Yeah, Darcy and Brainstorm takes a little bit of getting used to.
Yep. Right, so we're going to 1. We're just not going to be the Liliana. We were just a turn behind to it, and we were a turn behind to killing the Grave Titan. I mean...
Yeah, overall, I think this matchup's really good because we have 4 expressive iterations.
Yep.
This is kind of why I didn't want so many Murktide regents. It's like, you're not going to have time to play 2, but like with all these cantrips, like you'll always find one when you're ready.
Wait, why is there a Grave Titan in the yard? Oh, I guess they discarded one? I was saying, I guess Swords did.
Okay.
Alright, I missed that.
Okay.
You're super dead now. Well, Mono Black Reanimator. Well, let's see if this sideboard thing we talked about actually works here. So we've got a Grafdigger's Cage. Torpor Orb is good against Grave Titan entering the battlefield, but I don't think it's actually good.
Yeah, that's probably reasonable. Yeah, Priest, I like that.
I like all of these. Prismatic Ending seems decent. The force effects, I think, are necessary but not good.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We
probably got to cut some of the removal.
You want to cut Swords or Prismatic Endings?
Prismatic
Endings probably good. Swords actually can like answer a Grave Titan. This hits Liliana, but that's like kind of all it hits.
I guess it also hits Animate Dead, so it's like swordsing a Titan without giving them life. So maybe I think I'm gonna cut. Maybe we have a split or something.
I think I'm gonna cut all of them, and I think I want to cut one Ragavan as well.
We're on the play.
Okay, you don't want to cut one. Okay, on the draw I can see it. I can get behind it. I could also see a Force of Negation or like Murktide on the play. I don't know. Jace maybe on the play. Jace is like okay to bounce with though.
They're like a mono black deck, so I like all the card advantage stuff.
So
If they don't do their unfair thing, we're just like a deck full of 2-for-1s in there. Oh, cut Wasteland.
Cut Wasteland. Okay, I can get behind that.
We just have 19 mana sources because we're not wastelanding. They only have swamps. It looks like.
That is true.
Right, this looks good.
Maybe I should just cut both Wastelands and have a prismatic ending.
I think I like the 19th land. Oh. This hand's great.
This hand is very good. Question is, do we want to lead on DRC or Ragavan? I think the answer is Ragavan. But
yeah,
I
think so too. I don't want Ragavan to get discarded.
Starts with Leyline of the Void. Interesting.
Okay.
That was a point in favor of Murktide, but all this does is stop Murktide. I guess it stops DRC too.
Yeah, it somewhat stops the DRC because we have a lot of velocity. So it might just be okay being a 1/1 that filters our draws.
I think that's... I mean, the real thing is we just can't let like a Grave Titan or a Grizzlebrain into play, right? So the card that matters in our hand here is Surgical.
We got Narset for... Oh, there we go. Yeah. Let's go. This is working out well.
Well, we're losing our Surgical.
Shut off Crystal Brand.
True. And we'll have a turn 2 Narset, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. That's like the main selling point of this deck.
They took Narset. Interesting.
They're scared of Narset.
I mean, I agree.
It's really good in Legacy right now. I like the card a lot.
Well, let's get in there with Ragavan. Do the thing.
Do we want to just like play Darcy or actually Expressive this turn?
No, I wanted to just play Darcy, I think.
Yeah. I agree with that.
The real question is, do I want to play the Flooded Strand or the Tundra?
If you want to play Tundra,
you want to play Tundra?
We can not use a token to cast Expressive next turn.
Okay. I was going to say getting the Flooded Strand in play makes more sense to me in case we draw a Brainstorm. And they play some sort of discard effect, like a Raven's Crime or a Liliana Plus here. So we can't... If they like Ritual into Liliana, I would rather have the Flooded Strand in play than the Tundra.
Okay, yeah, that's a valid point. They probably have that Edict in their deck right now.
Okay, so do we start with the Ponder? Is there a reason to, or should I just attack? I think I want to Expressive anyway.
Say that again?
So I think I want Expressive anyway. I don't think I even want to Ponder. I think I want to just hold these two. I want a Force Effect is what I want.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, well, let's start by attacking and see what
Ragavan
hits.
Let's attack first.
It's annoying because if they have a removal spell and they kill Darcy, I lose some of the Surveil value. Helm of Obedience?
Oh, they're that deck. Okay, interesting.
I could
Luckily, we have all these different colors. We have we don't have Prismatic Ending in our deck right now, but Ragavan can get us up to 4 colors.
I can cast that.
We need it. We want to cast it?
No, but I could.
Okay.
Right, Expressive.
Yeah, let's express ourselves.
We need a Force Effect. How about that?
Love it.
Oh, I have 2 of them. Well, Snapcaster doesn't do very much. No land's a little bit annoying. I guess I can just like hard cast the Snapcaster. Get a body.
That's what I was thinking. We basically like lose a clue and a fetch, but it's probably worth it just because they have a lot of removal spells, and it feels like they kept a weak hand with a Leyline of the Void. Because they haven't played anything else.
That's also my read. All right. And now we actually have
these beats.
We got a clock. We got a real clock going here. But we also have 2 free spells. So we're in a spot where...
Yeah, we're in a good spot.
We can stop most of what they're doing between Forceful and Surgical. Obviously, they can discard or make us discard things and beat that, but I think we're mostly okay. The question is, if this is a Liliana of the Veil, do we even care?
I don't think we care.
I was going to say, my instinct here is that I would just let Liliana resolve. Well, it's also a really good draw.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is why
Doesn't change our clock.
No, it does. Ooh, animate dead. That doesn't do anything, but good to have. Yeah, I'm not gonna ponder here. I want to make sure I have the blue card. It's just such a
Let's have
disaster
hard
there.
cast force up.
I do have hardcast force,
Should
but
we need it?
yeah, but I'd rather like play the containment priest this turn to just really lock them out.
Oh, is this
This feels like a hardcast grave
hard
type.
cast? Yeah.
I think I'm forcing that.
Yeah. Do we want to?
Yeah,
So they have mana up to reanimate it.
But we have surgical.
It's like probably, yeah. So I think I like hard cast. They know about the surgical though, right?
They do know about the surgical.
Okay. They just don't know about force of will. And the containment priest, I suppose.
I was gonna say that the other thing is we can blow them out with a containment priest because they might be thinking surgical, but we can like respond, like keep the surgical and respond with containment priest.
I kind of want to hold containment priest in hand, just in case they have like a sweeper or something.
Okay. All right.
So like, because we have a 2-turn clock here, and I don't think they have any removal spells.
I'm into hardcast, but my instinct tells me I was supposed to pitch. Here, I'll say that.
It's definitely really close. This ponder like might do some really good things with the Darcy Surveil.
Ooh, that's a good draw too. Especially now that we can get rid of Grave Titan completely, and this will answer Grizzlebrand. Not that Grizzlebrand's really gonna matter, but.
Oh, all right. Oh.
Well, this scares me. Because they knew
It's
about
weird
this.
they played into it.
Maybe this is just all their hand let them do. I guess we're gonna find out in a second. Oh yeah.
Well,
they had an exhume. Okay. So what else are they doing though? They're not even playing Grizzlebrand. They have Archon of Cruelty.
There's two Grizzlebrand in there.
They do have 2 Grizzlebrand. It's Helm, Grizzlebrand. Only 2 Helm though, which is interesting.
So they're gonna leyline us. Leyline's like part of their core strategy with this Helm, so let's keep that in mind when sideboarding. Like I like the Murktide way less.
Yeah, I want to cut the Murktides for sure.
Have to make some changes. So they have Exhume, so maybe we don't even need an Narset here. Maybe we just sit here. Or like cast the Ponder.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just want to ponder and leave up Containment Priest. I don't really want the land.
Agreed.
I think
it's pretty bad.
Well, it's not great, but I think swords. The thing I like about this, Ragavan is a haste threat, and it's like there's so few ways we can lose. I think just having
we have one in play.
I know, but like if they kill, like they have Liliana in their hand, right? So if they like Liliana minus, I can sack Ragavan, like play Containment Priest and haste this one, and they're like way dead, even if they have like a fatal push or something.
Interesting. Okay.
I think it's small but worth keeping, and I'm gonna keep it on top of the library too. Draw the swords in case something gets out of hand. I don't know. They do have a lot of mana. Yep. Liliana does her thing. Alright, Containment Priest, go. Monkey Dash, go. Now we have him dead through removal spell.
Yeah, this is an interesting line. I like it now.
Got him. All right.
All right, game 3. Now we actually know what we're really up against here.
Yep. So the Prismatic Ending can come back, I think. It's definitely better than the Murktide.
Yeah, they have a lot of targets. Yeah, Murktide's out of here.
The awkward thing is most of them need a Ragavan to connect, except that Liliana, I guess, doesn't. Grim Lava Man doesn't really do anything. Alpine Moon can shut down Lake of the Dead, but like isn't that good otherwise. What do you think? Third Prismatic Ending and cut the Wasteland, or no?
I like the 19th mana source.
Okay, it doesn't really cast very many of our spells. In fairness, like they're all
yeah,
colored
the planeswalkers though they do.
It does cast the planeswalkers, yep.
And it's also another thing when you're expressive iterating early, it's a land to hit to make sure you actually have something, since the core of our deck is fairly reactive.
I guess we
did
actually
see one of the main draws.
We did see Lake of the Dead too.
Right, yeah, yep.
I mean, I could see an argument to bring back the Wasteland now that we've seen Lake of the Dead, because it is pretty brutal to Wasteland to Lake of the Dead. They like already sacked 2 lands.
Okay. About like cutting a swords.
Yeah,
it only hits the Grave Titan.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's probably reasonable.
We also have Teferi to stop like Leyline Helm.
Yep, that's true.
Not a perfect solution, but it does something. Alright, well, seems great. It's going to be weak to like a fast draw from their part, which their deck is certainly capable of. I mean, they are a Dark Ritual Reanimator deck, but I think this is still a keep.
Rough. Yeah, it's hard to mulligan all the time, and because they just thought sees us, so it's definitely a respectable hand, but mulling to force is like pretty loose.
I mean, we have a Brainstorm too. Like, it's really hard to mulligan hands like this where you have the Brainstorm. I mean, Brainstorm's just the buyout card, right? Like, it's the, were you in trouble? Oh, whatever, you're good now. You cast a Brainstorm. Obviously, not foolproof, but it does that a lot of the time. Thoughtseize. Do I want to protect anything? Like, is it worth it to Brainstorm here?
I
think the answer is it's not.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think we just want to like Brainstorm for a red 1-drop next turn, rather than like focus on protecting Narset or something like that.
Well, the other thing too is like they could go off after this, right? Like they could go Dark Ritual, Entomb, Reanimate. I don't think they had those Entomb, but you know what I mean. Like they could go Dark Ritual into something from this point, and if I Brainstorm now, then they can take the Force of Will, no matter where I put it, and be good to go off. This way, if they take the Brainstorm, okay. Now I kind of want to just Brainstorm, because I'm going to lose it anyway.
Yeah, okay.
And this way I can make sure I'm drawing something I want, like a Ragavan.
Okay, so do you want to hide the Narset and the Ragavan?
Yep, I want to do it like that, so I have plays on back-to-back turns here.
I like it.
The awkward thing is I was going to say I'm playing this into a Liliana, but they've already cast 3 Thoughtseizes, so like it might be the type of turn where I want to just dash with Ragavan.
Yeah, that definitely could be.
Especially given I don't have another play with the mana now that they've taken the Ponder. I think I like dashing.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. Next turn we like have the treasure anyway. And just plussing, if they just plus Liliana and don't discard one of the reanimation. Oh, man,
that's a really good hit.
Yeah, let's jam that.
What do you got there? A Ratchet Bomb and a Collective Brutality. Oh, all right. So Brutality is the type of card that dashing plays around. So I guess it's the Ratchet Bomb, although Prismatic Ending answers it.
Yeah, I like taking the Brutality here.
Okay, that also takes their discard outlet, because they don't have a discard outlet otherwise. So I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about this Ratchet Bomb. And should we find the Wasteland, we now know Jeskai doesn't usually get to know what's in the opponent's hand.
Yep. All right, well, let's hope they didn't draw something truly absurd here. Feels like they're just playing the Ratchet Bomb. No, they drew a Brutality.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, Cool with that.
Yeah, not the end of the world. Now the Ratchet Bomb will stick, which is annoying, but I get to get... I think it's right to just play Narset here, too, and start finding things.
I think you're right.
It also stops Grizzlebrand from being a disaster. Alright, I get a Swords. I'll take it. Not the ideal draw, but we'll take it. Or find. Would have preferred a Force of Negation or a Force of Will, but yeah, beggars can't be choosers.
I mean, between the next Narset activation, though, we'll have to keep in mind that there's not like any expressive iterations or the Jace or the Ponder or Brainstorm on the bottom of our deck. So we'll make our top decks pretty good, because I think any card advantage we're super happy with right now.
True. I mean, the bottom 3 cards of our deck are Ragavan and 2 more lands, which is good for us. Like, we don't want to draw either of those things, given what our hand's currently doing. 5 mana. I don't like that. Liliana the Last Hope. Okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
I agree. You have to plus here, right? They do plus. Okay. Thought so, but... Ponder. I'm going to start with the Narset minus.
Yep.
I think it's better to minus before pondering. Force negation, that's good.
Yep. Great draw.
Alright, now I'm going to ponder.
Oh, alright.
Jace is good.
Yeah. I don't think we want the do we want the extra Ragavan?
No, so I'm going to put that on the bottom and then draw Jace plus Strand.
Yeah. I think we want to draw the Strand and then to hide Jace. Is that right?
I agree. And I kind of want to just leave up Hardcast Force, because Lily's, like, not scaring me yet.
How much does the lake make?
It makes 4 mana, but they have to sacrifice a swamp, and they don't have a swamp.
Okay, so they have, like, 1 black mana. Because they have no cards in hand. So
no cards in hand.
And there's not a creature in the yard right now, but they could mill into one.
Yeah, they could minus plus, like, draw Reanimate, which is, like, the only thing I'm really scared of. Plus, like, just dashing it. I guess I'm hitting the Liliana. Maybe that is still better.
Yeah, I kind of want to just poke the Liliana.
Alright, I can get behind it. I even have the Swords if they, like, somehow get a Grave Titan in play.
Yeah, and we have a Plow for the Grizzlebrand, which won't draw any extra cards if that's what they hit.
Sure, okay. So probably better.
Cool. Now if they minus, the Liliana dies as well.
Sure. Yeah, I think I like your line.
That might be super relevant here.
It also just makes, like, the ultimate just so far out of reach on this. Like, taking 2 loyalty off it just makes the -7 take forever. And now we're going to put them in a bad spot, too, because when we play Jace, they're now going to have to decide if they want to start taking up their Ratchet Bomb or leave it to protect Liliana from Ragavan. So we're kind of just putting them between a rock and a hard place. Ooh, so many monkeys. I don't really want the Swords, although maybe it's just right to keep. I'm going to get rid of a land and a monkey.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
I'm going to fetch in my upkeep. It's always better to do it upkeep. Once you have your other mana untapped to be able to respond to things. There's not very many things a mono black deck is going to be able to do to stop, to mess with me fetching, but still technically right to do it this way.
Yep, good form.
Drew him anyway. Alright, if there's another Flooded Strand in the top, I'm going to claim shenanigans. Yeah. No Flooded Strand. Alright, no shenanigans. We're good. Everything's good. I think it's time.
Fairy bounce is actually pretty decent here now.
Yeah, I think it's time to put the Swords away too.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Alright, white, blue, Teferi. Yoink. Oh, I was. Well, I guess I'm drawing the swords. I hope it's the swords at any rate. Putting a charge counter on it. Ooh, I can fetch. Yes.
Yep, love it.
Saved me.
Bailed out.
Saved for my own incompetence. I can get a second Narset in play. Seems a bit unnecessary. I do have Delirium, which is nice. And we can finally get... Well, Liliana's not gone yet, but it will die next turn. Finally attacked it off the table.
See, this is the kind of Murktide region deck I like, where like a lot of decks, if they just have a bunch of like blasts to kill Murktide and all your creatures, like you don't really have anything going on. And this deck has just so much traction with Narset. You just find your entire deck.
Yeah, Narset's a really messed up card. I think people have forgotten how broken this card is, but it is a good one for sure. Oh man. Yeah, force effects never feel as good as when you're forcing something they cast off a Dark Ritual, let me tell you. Ugh, I don't even need to force that. That's the
deal.
That's the brutal thing.
Deal. Let's go.
Yeah, that's fine. You can have that one.
We can finally kill this Liliana.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, it's garbage time. Just make plays now.
Alright.
I'm declaring it. We even have our like end step sorceries going on. It's pretty good against like Dark Depths decks. You get to like Prismatic Ending the...
Oh
ooh, wow, even the Wasteland? Let's go.
Oh my goodness. It's just utter beatdown status. One of those you have no permanence after the turn situations.
Good feeling.
Yeah, versus me with a bunch of Planeswalkers and 6 lands in play. In a Force of Will effect.
This is kind of why I was okay making the mana better by adding Plateau over Mystic Sanctuary, because like one Narset snowballs your entire deck into your hand.
Sure.
Like, over 5 turns, so it's like you don't really even need that effect that badly in this deck.
Alright, we are back for round 2 here after a stunning victory over Mono Black Discard Reanimator. Kyle, what were you saying towards the end of the last video? I'm going to keep here.
We drew a bunch of cards without Mystic Sanctuary in our deck. So I like having the Plateau as extra Wasteland insulation instead. I think we didn't need it in that match, but we also didn't need to draw extra cards.
Yep, I agree with you. I think that's right. I think this deck draws enough cards between Expressive Iteration and Narset and Jason, whatever, that you just don't need to do those things. Interesting if we want to start with Dragon's Rage or Ragavan. We can't clear the way for Ragavan, and green decks tend to play creatures. So there's a chance I want to...
What kind of deck do you think they're playing?
I think I would bet money they're either playing Elves or Green-White Depths, or like a Green X Depths deck.
I think it's a Depths deck.
Could also be Maverick, I guess. Maverick makes sense.
Yeah. They mulled to 6 and just immediately fetched to like play around Stifle or something.
Sure. Alright, I'll play Ragavan. I'm not sure this is correct. If they play a creature, I will have much rather have played a Dragon Race Channeler. But
I think our next turn is going to be the same either way, like Darcy into Ponder likely.
Sure, I can buy that.
And we wouldn't like attack with it either way.
Okay, Wasteland me, that's fine. Yeah, wait.
We could get a turn 2 to Fairy or something.
This is where people get really upset about Ragavan, is that my opponent... I think if I had played on any other creature, the opponent snaps off the Wasteland there, and against Ragavan, they can't.
We just have like a Birds of Paradise. It's deranged.
Okay, well, they definitely are a Depths deck. Do we want to cast the Crop Rot?
Well, we can get a Wasteland. I don't think we want Wasteland, but...
Well, we would want a Wasteland, like, in general, except they have a Wasteland.
Yeah, well, I guess they can upkeep the Wasteland either way.
Well, they can just Wasteland my Wasteland, because I can't target their forest, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, this might be like, I don't know. I guess we don't need the Teferi this turn, so maybe we just like
I kind
play.
of want to just play Teferi and plus.
Okay, we can do that.
I don't think that's crazy. The other option is we can just, start pondering, get DRC in play, ponder, do all of the things, which I also think is pretty reasonable for what it's worth.
Yeah, I think that might actually be the play because they're probably going to play a 3-drop creature, so they don't know that we have this Teferi that we can cast next turn.
Okay.
Oh, and we have crop rotation up the whole time.
No, this is only until
So
end
why
of my
not?
turn.
Or yeah, until end of turn, but yeah, I guess it doesn't
Do I
matter.
want to brainstorm here or
You haven't
ponder?
played a land.
I know.
I think our hand is good.
So
What
you
if you
want to
just crack
brainstorm?
the fetch? I'm thinking like crack, fetch, ponder.
Okay.
Grab the tundra.
I don't think I need another brainstorm. It's never like bad to draw a brainstorm though, but I think I'd rather just put the instant in the yard.
Yeah, I agree. They'll like largely do something
Ooh, I
pretty
don't want
similar.
any of this.
Yeah, agreed.
Ooh, iteration's
Ooh,
good.
yes.
Take an
I've never
iteration.
been sad to draw the iteration so far.
Yeah, yet.
Yet.
We are gonna want to find a swords or a prismatic ending, but I think we'll be fine whenever we do. They're wasting my tundra. Sure. Ooh, loam. That's a really good thing to force of negation.
Oh yeah. That's a good one. Been that.
Yep, and now
Got
we have
Delirium
delirium.
now. Let's go.
That loam used to be a huge pillar of legacy, and force of negation being printed is like ridiculously rough for that card. So that is a little unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? So now the question is, do we want to iterate or just get Teferi in play? I think iteration's better.
I think so too.
And I definitely don't want to play my land before iterating.
Yep.
No, I'm gonna want to exile that, so I'm gonna put that on top. All right, put one of them into your hand. Prismatic ending. Put one of them on the bottom. I guess I can just.
We get to like thin our deck of the fetches.
Yeah, you'd rather thin. I guess that's fair.
I think so.
I'll exile the Scalding Tarn and play that. Beautiful. And now we are protected because next turn, well, one we have Force of Will anyway, but next turn we can have Teferi plus into Prismatic Ending at instant speed, which basically stops the combo from working. And one of the annoying things about trying to beat this combo is a lot of the times the cards you're using as swords to Plowshares, and against Merit Lage, they gain 20 life, which in some control decks doesn't really matter, but when we're actually trying to win with, beatdowns from one-drop creatures, that can buy them a lot of time, and Prismatic Ending just is going to say, no, it doesn't matter. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, this deck's also really good against Sylvan Library because we have Narset.
Yep. Well, and just Teferi Bounce, it's just all of the things.
There's so many ways to beat Library. We just do not care at all.
I'm going to start with an attack. Well, also, we're attacking, so, if they are paying 4 life to draw a card, I mean...
Yeah, we can just tempo them out. It's a great aspect of this deck.
That said, how do I want to do this? I think I'm just going to play Teferi off a bunch of... I'm going to fetch once. I want to still leave a fetch for the Brainstorm.
I don't think we should prioritize that. And hold on, wait, before you crack it, we have a Darcy, so we can craft some scenarios where we get the chaff off the top of our deck even without a fetch. Because if we don't draw fetches and we don't draw instants,
sure, but I just don't think the treasure matters that much.
I don't think so. Okay.
I think we're just in a good enough they're dead 2 turns from now, basically.
You're definitely in a really strong spot.
I want to draw that.
Oh yeah. This Teferi's really good in this matchup.
I was gonna say when you handed me the list, was do we want to play a second Teferi? This card's really good.
I'm glad you like it because Teferi actually feels like one of the worst cards in the deck, but is still still has a ton of really good upsides.
Oh, they get to put that in their graveyard? That's actually really annoying. All right, so I'm gonna plus, and I think I'm gonna start
So we
with.
could like search for Wasteland even.
We can search for Wasteland. I think there's an argument too to getting Delicate Exploration
Yeah,
at the table. So I kind of want a Prismatic
also
Ending that
true.
this turn.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with a Brainstorm though because hitting Wasteland is worth 3 points of damage here.
Ooh,
I think that's too
that's,
good,
I think so too.
given that they're about to loam.
Yeah, like bricks their whole next turn.
Oh, we drew Caracas. Yep. All right. Well, there you go. Prismatic Ending is just an outrageous Magic card. It's just truly, truly ridiculous.
It really is. In a lot of the Ant decks, the ending like might not be great game one, but it gets a little better game two because it hits Carpet of Flowers.
Yep. Even if it's not like great game one, it's still like good. Like it hits
Yeah,
Teferi, it
it's
hits
passable.
whatever their Planeswalker is. I guess less so Jace, but it hits Uro too, which matters. Oh, you're gonna let me exile the thing and make the treasure instead of taking
Yeah, I
three?
was curious what their choice was going to be. It wasn't
We
obvious.
get our own Pelican Exploration. I kind of want to cast that. Is that crazy?
I kind of want to kill theirs or leave up Force of Negation. One of those two. It's probably a little too cute. It was like next turn, maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
It's definitely greedy to play it, but like, we get to trigger it right away with Flooded Strand.
I know. That is kind of cool.
All right, you know what? We're recording. We didn't come here not to do this.
Oh, wow.
I came to jam.
You really did. I guess we get this second. We want this ending because they're just like straight lands. They don't have like a ton of targets. They're not the green white depth stack.
Okay, so I don't. Well, I do want the ending, but I'm gonna shuffle. I'm gonna leave it in the deck to shuffle it away.
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
I can play Murktide Regent. That's disgusting.
Yeah, let's go.
And we still have a force effect up. So yeah.
But doesn't two feel like the right amount of Murktides in this deck?
Yeah.
Like it just shows up after you draw a bunch of cards and it's really strong, but like second Murktide would just be a 3/3. Like maybe you could like, slow roll one to make second one bigger to pump the first one, but I don't know. It's a lot of work. One Murktide like just feels like it's enough to draw.
Well, Exploration isn't doing anything, so I'll let you have that one. I guess it does draw them 2 cards here if they have lands in hand, but just not gonna be quite enough. Ooh, they found their Dark Depths. So strong. So strong.
Yeah, it is a cool combo with the Valakut Exploration. It's a cool new card that gets.
The problem is they need to resolve a spell here. I guess this is the combo, so they can put a 20/20 into play, but like we have the ending, so whatever.
Yeah, and the Caracas and
Oh yeah, just have all.
just got it all.
Yeah.
Even if have an Alpine Moon for the combo after sideboard, should we need it?
Should we?
Or this
need it?
Maze of Ith.
Oh my. Alright, well, they are dead here. Yeah, they're dead here. Oh, I was supposed to cast something before combat, wasn't I?
Oh.
Now they're not dead here. Well,
Oh, I see. Yeah, right. That's okay.
I can do it at instant speed. I did plus Teferi, so I could like Expressive Iteration and force it. They can't cast stuff, so they're just dead, right? If I Expressive Iteration and force my own Expressive Iteration, they die. Because they can't cast anything.
Maybe.
I have a Teferi in play.
Oh, right. You do have Teferi in play.
Okay.
Wait, no, hold on. Stop. Wait, does it? Oh, no. Okay, yeah. Thespian stage, you have to tap. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, do your thing.
Got him.
Right?
It's a cool little line.
Nice.
Force a will your own Expressive Iteration for lethal. All right. So Alpine Moon is good. Surgical's good. Prismatic Ending's good.
Yep.
Grafdigger's Cage, not so good. Null Rod, I think, can be good, but debatably good. I do like Narset. We saw no, we did see Sylvan, right?
So what do they bring in? They bring in like choke and
yeah, definitely chokes.
red blasts.
Maybe red blast.
I think they have. I think that I've seen Jarvis was playing lands recently, and he had like a few blasts. So
they probably bring him in. They're not like amazing.
Gotta watch out
this.
for that. Yeah, I actually don't think most cards are that good against us because of how differentiated we are.
Sure. So what do we want to cut? I'm kind of feeling cutting some number of swords. I guess sword is our best answer to Merit Lage. Maybe it's just dumb, but I don't think that's really what matters in the matchup that much.
Yeah, I agree that we probably don't need all the swords. It might not even. Yeah. Yeah, we have like a lot of counters for crop rotation. And...
Can we cut an expressive iteration? Just like one? I think I can cut all Ragavan on the draw, even though Ragavan is good. I think 3 is fine. Is that crazy?
It might be crazy.
We gotta cut something, man.
Yeah. Maybe we don't need all the Narsets.
Alright. I'm still cutting a Ragavan.
Okay.
And I think I could go down to 2 swords, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
I think Narset might be better than Expressive Iteration in a matchup where Sylvan Library matters. But I'm not sure.
It might not also matter because we won't have like a ton of targets for ending, but it'll always be reasonable.
Sure.
So we definitely have the card on lock. Here we have maybe a turn 2 Narset. That'd be kind of sweet.
Yeah, this hand is the type of hand that loses pretty bad to lands, though. Like, if they just have Grove plus Punishing Fire, we can be in a lot of trouble. I do still think it's a keep, but...
Yeah, absolutely.
This hand I could see us getting real punished.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I was going to say...
This is the draw.
This is the thing you're hoping for.
Wow, this is really coming together nicely.
Would you like to wasteland me, opponent? I have Monkey. They do want to wasteland me. Right?
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Oh, no.
Okay. All right. Wasteland.
I will say drawing that land there was quite nice.
Yeah.
Get another Volk, get DRC out there. I can start tearing through our deck. If they play alone, we do have to force it, but it's pretty unlikely they can play alone this turn. They kind of have to have Mox Diamond to do it. Mazerith does not tap for mana, for those curious.
Do they have they probably have a Yavimaya, should it come to that.
Okay, you're right.
To cast it.
They probably do have a Yavimaya. That is the type of card I usually would force, but given I have a Prismatic Ending, I don't think I'm supposed to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, man. All right. They're not letting me Ragavan. Makes sense. Maybe I was supposed to do this ahead of combat to make this 3 power. Probably was.
I don't know if we get it to 3 power. We only have lands in the yard, right?
Yeah. I'm going to put this on top. I do want to draw land.
Yep, I agree.
Drawing a land there seems quite good.
Our set just like holding a Sylvan Library is pretty nice.
Yep.
I'm just loving this card actually.
This deck also plays Valakut Exploration, which is like a Sylvan Library that Narset doesn't stop at all. So there is that. Bog me. Oh no. If that's all you got. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I just feel so indifferent to that, which is great. I feel like we have a fast clock, but we're also just indifferent to a lot of the interaction.
Yep, all
that said, we do have to worry about choke.
Choke would
Choke,
be horrible for
choke
us.
and choke's pretty rough. Blood Moon also annoying, but Ragavan can make treasures to still cast spells. We do have red cards too, which is nice.
A lot of those cards, though, are less good against this deck than they would be against, say, a Bant, because just the density of free spells you have, like Force of Will and Force of Negation. There's a lot of scenarios where if you have a board, you can let one of those resolve and then just force their next X number of plays and just be fine.
Yep. I agree with that.
I am going to start by casting my spells because there is a chance it turns on Dragon's Rage. It's somewhat unlikely, admittedly, but it could.
Yep.
Especially if they have like a red blast and I force it, then it's more likely.
It's a good turn for the plateau. I like the plateau here.
It does look good here. Ooh, I think I want that.
Yeah. We also get like the guaranteed hit too,
Off
which
Narset?
is cool.
Yeah.
Darcy works pretty well with all this stuff.
Ooh.
Okay, they had it.
Well, do we want to force a will?
I don't think so.
No. All right.
No, I say that only because we have like expressive iteration.
Sure.
So like we have more card advantage, and all we're gonna do is like to start out with is just draw the prismatic ending.
Yeah, I do like Prismatic Ending. It's a little awkward if I have to use Force of Will this turn. That was kind of why I wanted to get this in play, is like I'm at least forcing through a permanent that does something. Oh, that's bad.
Punishing Fire. Yeah, it's rough.
That's really bad. Well, if I Force of Will it, I can put Prismatic Ending in my yard and save my Dragon's Rage Channeler, which might matter here.
We're at 18 though.
Yeah.
No, like, because they have Maze of Ith, so they could just like Punishing Fire the monkey and then just like Maze the Darcy. I think we want to keep the iteration to like kind of churn through our deck at this point. So I think traditional creatures aren't going to do it.
I feel like we messed up not getting the Narset in play.
That might have been a mistake now with this Punishing Fire. It might have just been a mistake in general too, yeah. It's definitely a hard call.
Put one of them into my hand. I think I'm putting Snapcaster into my hand.
Yep.
Bottoming Swords and exiling Ponder.
You can still draw a Wasteland. Get Monkey through, at least for one turn.
I don't even know if I would though, because I might Wasteland the Grove.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, Surgical is good.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Surgical doesn't stop Punishing Fire though very well.
Well, they're gonna probably end step it, right? Then we can Surgical it with the trigger on the stack.
Is there a trigger? I guess there is, right?
Hover over it. It's gotta be. I'm pretty sure people used to do that in the past.
There was some trick where they can beat it, but I don't remember what it is.
Yeah. I agree with you that there is a trick, but I forget. I mean, it might just be multiple groves or something.
Well, it is multiple. I know multiple groves has something to do with it.
I think they're probably just setting up for the staring match then. With our one of Surgical, which they wisely played around it. They made the right play there. That was good.
All right, someday I'll find this Wasteland.
Yeah, I'm happy to be playing 2 for this matchup for sure. Oh.
I think I'm gonna keep this and just draw the Tundra.
Yeah, I agree.
The question is, do I want to snap Ponder? I'm not really doing anything else with my mana. I think that's fine.
I think so too. I think that sounds good.
Just get another body in play.
I think overall I like the spot though.
Alright, so we're going to stack like this so that I have access to Force of Will still. Then I'm drawing Brainstorm even if I do Force. It is a trigger.
Right. Yeah, let's go for it.
Alright.
The only thing they can do, I don't even know how they gain life in the stack outside of like a crop rotation.
It has to be a crop rotation, that's the thing. If they crop rotate, I am Force of Willing.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So they had another one in their hand.
Oh, yep. Hey, that's cool.
Okay, so they have a Valakut Exploration, which we don't even need to answer off, like, necessarily off the top.
Check if they have choke. Oh, did you see if they had choke?
No, but I was recording. We could go back.
Okay.
Yeah, probably click through that a little hastily. I would definitely have spent more time looking. Wow, they didn't play the Valakut Exploration? I guess I'm kind of in a rough spot here against the 2020, huh?
Yeah.
Well, let's start with a Brainstorm.
Oh, man. This is great.
That is really good. So what's going back?
Wonder of Alpine Moon. Ragavan seems not super useful at the moment. This could be an iteration turn as well. We haven't played a land yet, right?
No. So I can cast Iteration plus Alpine Moon plus Prismatic Ending if I put these three back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then we get the Ragavan off the top. So I don't think it's really about that right now.
Red.
Yeah, that's right. And then we have a Tundra on top.
Gotta cast that right. I do think it's right. Oh my gosh, and there's a Wasteland.
Oh, that's huge. That's weird. Let's just add Wasteland to our hand. Yeah, that works.
We add Wasteland to the hand. Oh yeah, because of
exile the Tundra.
Yeah, okay.
And then we want to like go after we like name the stage if they don't activate it in response, right?
Yes.
So they can't make like another Maze of Ith in response to our Wasteland.
Yeah, you would definitely name stage over Dark Depths, because I mean you just definitely name stage. It's the card you want to stop. It's their best land.
Yeah.
I still think I'm naming stage too is the other thing. I could name Maze of Ith here, but it's still probably stage.
How many? Oh, they have 3 other stages in their deck.
Yeah. Well, they can also get it back with Loam. I mean, they don't have Loam.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yep. Yeah, we don't have another way to exile the graveyard.
Well, that's interesting. We went from like dead on board to brainstorming into literally 10 different ways to answer their combos. So
yeah,
if you were wondering if brainstorm's good, I think we have found
an expressive iteration kind of helped get us there too.
Yep. Although it's kind of awkward now because I think we do want to force a will. Oh no, because they have a Pyroblast, so I shouldn't force a will anything here. I was gonna say I kind of want to force a will that, but.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, these are all good.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we want to like get rid of the Mesa from the top of our deck, right?
Yes. So I think I'm gonna do it like this.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. Hey, we can actually attack them now. That's great. And then do we ponder to mill the Arid Mesa and then get the Brainstorm in our hand? And then we'll still have 4 subs.
Ideally, we'd have a different blue card, but yes, we know we'll have a blue card after pondering, so I am into this. Okay. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we just need to put
Pondering when you're empty-handed is better than Brainstorm. So if I force, I'd rather draw Ponder than Brainstorm.
Or whatever.
This card is going to be annoying.
Yeah.
But they don't have enough going on that it matters, I don't think.
Yeah, we actually have a good clock now. I think we'll continue to find. All right.
All right. Oh, there we go.
We again just turn through our deck.
Yep.
This deck feels really good so far.
I agree.
Once again, we could have used the Mystic Sanctuary, but like we never were shy of things to do with our mana. That was good. I'm back.
Kyle has returned, and we are back in time for round 3 here. We've won the die roll. This hand doesn't have one of our namesake 1-drops, but I think it's still a keep.
Yep, I think so too.
Especially on the play. I think on the draw, you could actually argue this is a clear mulligan, but on the play with a ponder, hard to ship this.
Yeah, we'll probably find one of our red 1-drops off the ponder. We have a lot of looks. It's not the end of the world even if we don't.
Yep, that's where I'm at. Opponent's on 6. Alright, I would say on opponent mulliganing to 6 in Legacy doesn't really mean anything. Opponent mulliganing to like 5 or 4 makes you really start to think Doomsday, Storm, Reanimator, E-Tron, Chalice of the Void, those kind of decks. A deck that's really mulliganing for certain cards.
Well, they mulled to 4. Okay.
Well, against decks like those,
force.
Yeah, you really want a force effect like real bad.
Yeah.
So,
oh wow, this is an insane ponder.
Yeah, this couldn't have gone much better for us. I will happily take all of those things.
I'm having a lot of fun with this deck so far.
It feels good.
I must say.
We haven't played against the only 2 decks in the entire Legacy format. Oh, Dredge? Oh, that's even worse. Okay, well. Dredge is going to be a hard matchup kind of no matter what we do, so yikes. I don't really want to draw Caracas against Dredge. I don't think it does anything.
It only bounces Hogak.
Dredge only plays like 1 Hogak, so it's not even...
I think that's the only... Hogak's a legend, right?
Hogak is a legend, but yeah, it doesn't really...
Okay. Yeah. That said, yeah, I don't want to draw it either. I do agree with you. A breakthrough?
The question here is, do I discard or do I force? Because Narset's really good, but I think I do force.
I think you should force. If they discard some dredgers, then like they can just keep replacing their draw. As long as they don't take a single draw, they can dredge as much as they like.
Yeah, I mean it just stinks that we lose Narset, but I think this is right. Drawing Brainstorm is good. I'm going to leave that on top.
Yeah, I agree.
So I fetched because I knew I was going to put a land in play, and I was already putting a land in the yard, so I wanted the chance to give myself Delirium here. But we didn't get Delirium, obviously, but that's okay because Brainstorm should hopefully... that still doesn't give me Delirium, but I also don't think I want it, so I'm going to bin it.
I agree.
Yeah, none of these are quite what I'm looking for. Swords is like not bad against Dredge though.
Yeah, you want to keep 1?
Yeah, I think that's
keep
fine.
1 and shuffle one of those in one of the duels. This is like actually a decent plateau, maybe.
Well, the question is, am I iterating here? I don't think I am.
You don't think so? Yeah, that's probably reasonable.
I don't know. I don't think I am. I think I want to do it next
Yeah,
time.
I guess we wouldn't really be able to force a will one way or the other. That's really all we're looking for in game 1.
I mean, the reason to iterate there would be literally to turn on Delirium. I mean, that's
break that fetch on upkeep or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I should do it on upkeep, but I think it's fine to do it now.
Yeah.
Ooh, Ragavan. That's quite good.
Okay, so do we want to start with the iteration here?
I think so.
I think so too.
I don't think Snapcaster does anything, but it does give us Delirium, so easy bin. Put one of them into your hand. I guess Swords.
Yeah, I guess so.
Bottom. And Wastelanding them here is fine.
Yeah.
It's not amazing, but it does something. All in all, that was a pretty bad iteration, but we'll take it.
Yeah, I've definitely seen better.
So we're giving them a turn. If they draw one like a breakthrough here, I think it's
That
pretty likely
breakthrough
they
like a
have.
City of Brass.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's pretty likely they have like a looting in their hand. Ooh, second Cephalid Coliseum
Okay,
probably
they bricked.
doesn't do very much. Yeah. Maybe we can draw something to cast with Ragavan.
Yeah.
Looting
A
on our
breakthrough.
side would be pretty good.
Breakthrough is good, right?
Does it? What does it do? Draw 4 cards, then choose X cards from your hand and discard the rest. So
Yeah, that's a good effect.
I could just
Breakthrough for 4.
yeah, I guess it just like lets me loot all of this away, basically.
In like casting Faithless Looting, like they still need to find a City of Brass, and like we're probably dead. So yeah, looting's like a fair card. Ooh,
Lotus Petal's
free
not a
Lotus
bad hit.
Petal.
I'll take that.
Double treasure.
Even gives me a surveil. Ooh, and a force
Oh.
negation. That
Yeah,
one's probably good. Although it just means I'm not doing much next turn, but I think it's still okay.
Yeah, I agree. That way, at least we can exile a
looting.
Faithless Looting. Yeah. They probably have more stuff, so we'll need more help. But they're on a 2-turn clock. Like that's
yeah.
actually
just had enough.
yeah, right. Had enough.
Fair enough.
Well, they did mull to 4. It didn't come together for them.
Yeah, Dredge does that though, and Dredge is the type of deck too where like when you mull to 4, you don't even care that much necessarily. But yeah. Okay, so do I want anything else? Alpine Moon does something against Coliseum, but overall not great.
It fixed their mana too. They don't take damage they wouldn't take damage either.
No, but it stops Coliseum from being a looting effect,
Yeah.
which can matter. Although I think it's pretty slim. I do like Staticaster.
Yeah, Staticaster's good.
And I think the Pyroblasts are actually good because of Breakthrough, and there's another blue one they use. Careful Study?
Yeah.
And I guess Blue Elemental Blast counters Faithless Looting, so maybe that matters.
Yeah.
I think
it's a blue card, so
I think all of the white spells are terrible.
Yeah. Yep, I agree with that. That's most of it. That's good. Teferi's like kind of loose, right?
Yeah, Teferi's pretty. Yeah, Teferi's kind of bad. Is it better than Narset? Maybe. I think I actually want the extra Narset just to find more graveyard hate.
Yeah, I think so too.
So the question is, what's the next cut? It's probably like a Ragavan. I think it's pretty free to cut down to 3 Ragavans.
What about Jace?
Yeah, Jace is kind of awkward too.
It's
I mean, it's like I bored in a Narset for a Jace. I don't think.
Or Murktide. Murktide's also really slow. The game might not be remotely about Murktide.
I can get behind that.
Like I guess Jace can like find your 6 forces and your surgical. Like even if you tap out for it, might be pretty good.
Yeah, there are definitely times you want a Jace. Murktide is just, so slow.
Although, I'm happy to be playing 2. That's for sure.
This hand's kind of loose, but I think it's a keep.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't have interact. I only have 3 pieces of graveyard hate, and Containment Priest is a little slow, and Surgical doesn't even necessarily do that much. Silent Gravestone. Yeah.
So it's just surgical, right?
It only turns off surgical. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. Pretty good for us. It's not too scary at all.
So the question here is, do I want to ponder looking for one of my 2 remaining pieces of graveyard hate or play DRC? I think it's better to just get DRC and play.
Yeah. I agree with that. The early creatures, it does seem relevant because like all their lands are City of Brass effects. Okay.
Do I care about that?
Probably. It's interesting they tapped that over the Colosseum. What do you think that means? If anything.
I don't think it really means
Could be
anything.
an LED?
Could be an LED. I kind of want to force this. I get really punished if there's an LED in their hand.
But I guess if they have LED,
I could force the LED. The problem is this just puts a dredger in their yard, and they're going to be off to the races pretty quick.
Yeah, I think we should force it.
Right. And I think I'm pitching iteration just because I'd rather ponder next turn than iterate, and I'm definitely casting whatever I keep next turn.
Yeah, okay. I can buy that.
I'm going to keep that on top.
Yeah, I like that.
The awkward thing here is if they have like a breakthrough. Yeah, I was kind of scared of LED. Although,
well, they're not like they don't have threshold quite yet, so it's
no, but they'll get it really quick if they just have a dredger in hand. They just discard end of turn and then, yeah. But that said, a graveyard hate card here would be good. So if I can find my Grafdigger's Cage, I would feel like I'm in pretty good shape. Gonna bin that. All right, didn't really get anywhere.
you still probably. Oh, let's see. It's probably still worth keeping.
I agree.
We could do our ponder shenanigans, get the Mesa out.
Yep. DRC's a really powerful card.
Yeah.
Ugh, I don't want any of this. I think I need to keep the brainstorm though, just because of force negation.
Yeah, I agree with that. We have Ragavan on top of our deck, so we'll have Delirium if we force a negation something, so we can mill the Ragavan.
Yeah, although I don't even necessarily know that I want to, because I like having a Ragavan's pretty good. Yep, they upkeep did it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. This is where things start to get real bad for us.
Yep.
Although they didn't hit anything crazy there. Wow. Still no Narcomoebas. And they have what?
Staticaster could be.
Yeah, could be decent. So they have one Narcomoeba. Yeah.
They have a lot of Icarids though.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna die if I don't find something next turn. And they have two guys. Well, I'm gonna let this happen. Hoping they don't name Brainstorm here, which is 100% the card that you name in the dark always. So, a little annoying, but you know, here we are. Actually curious what they name.
Yeah, this is where I posture, so they don't.
Murktide Region. I was gonna say Murktide Region is actually a name here.
Yeah, I mean, people are gonna play around like Murktide and sideboard for Murktide, and they might respect Daze, even though we don't really see it on our side.
Okay, so I'm gonna upkeep Brainstorm to get the Ragavan. The Ragavan is bad here, and I want a 3/3 flyer. I think that's the only way I can win.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. All right.
Yep.
This game is not meant to be.
Yeah. Yep.
Being said, they have bridges, so we could dash it. And if they block, they lose the bridges.
Well, I think that's what we're gonna do because we don't have a better play to make. So
yeah, our hand is a little forced.
They might just like be able to kill us though with Icarids because they have a lot. Yeah, we are in trouble here. Careful study.
Ooh, okay.
I accept. Oh, I thought they got rid of the bridge. No, apparently not. Alright. It has to go to the graveyard. They have 4 Icarids. Am I dead? Do
We're probably dead in the next turn. I don't
know
how many other black creatures they have, but we're probably super dead.
Yeah, and I think I want the Murktide Regent back after playing that. Like, just having a big flyer to get over this nonsense on the ground, I think matters.
Yeah, we're on the play, so that might be relevant.
I'm a little off.
We can get under them. Yeah, I agree.
I could bring in the Null Rod too. It only stops.
Yeah, the lead.
The LED, but it does stop the LED. I guess we saw Lotus Petal too. But it's usually, I mean, it's gonna be too late than most, like against most of those cards.
Yeah.
This hand's not it. I mean,
yeah,
this hand's a keep. I don't think it's great. I think I'm bottoming the Mesa.
I think so too.
Opponent's on 4.
3. Do I hear 2? 2. 1. Well,
I
hope we
lose. This is why Dredge isn't a deck, if I'm being honest. This right here is just so inconsistent. It's so powerful too. It just has all these really powerful things, but something about it, like, this is. He just says GG. Yeah, like, I feel bad, but like something about it, like, I don't know. Obviously, it looks like
interact. I don't think we're out of the woods, to be honest. We'll see what they do.
I mean, that's a good start for them.
Yeah. Wish we had the Null Rod now. You're right. Null Rod does shut off our treasures too.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
Ragavan. Meltdown.
We're playing Meltdown. That could be a reason to have Stony Silence instead. Ooh, an Icarid.
We'll hard cast those in a couple turns. Oh, we're not. Maybe an Archamoeba.
Yard that. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm kind of into this.
No, none of these do anything.
You don't think
because
so?
they can't cast any of the blue cards. The only card they can cast with LED is Faithless Looting.
Okay, that's fair.
Alright, I mean, that's better. Yeah, the only thing you can do with LED is just a discard outlet that lets them cast Faithless Looting. And they have lands that they use it with, obviously. Do I want to up your pre-combat Brainstorm or Iteration? I think Iteration, pre-combat makes sense.
I think so too.
Definitely don't want Plateau. Alright. I'm going to use the treasure because I want to save my fetch.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Also, there's a decent chance. I think I'm going to use the treasure again.
Oh, what does Firestorm do? Is that something we should play around?
They don't have enough cards in there. You have to discard cards to do stuff with it.
Let's say they go land Firestorm. Can they discard one card and blow us out?
They can kill one creature. It's going to deal like 1 damage.
It doesn't deal 1 to everything. You have to like slice it up.
I think so.
I don't actually know what the card does.
I don't know what the card does either.
But I did notice that they dredged it last game.
You can look it up. Oh man, they have the looting.
They got Imp.
I could Brainstorm looking for some forces. We have a lot of looks with our Brainstorm.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Alright. Many looks. Nope, don't want Wasteland. 4th DRC, not quite it. Although this does give us Delirium now. There's a force.
Alright, there we go.
Now we need another blue card.
Yeah. Alright.
We did it.
Oh, and we get to mill these 2 Scalding Tarns too. That's insane.
3 DRCs is really absurd.
Yeah.
Checking for 11 next turn, just casually. Not even Brainstorm Lock because we found the 4. That's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. This card's an interesting card when you have to pay mana for your spells, but when everything starts becoming free, it's a little bit, maybe touch much. Alright, so on the draw here in round 4, but we have a Tournament Ragavan, so kind of hard to mulligan, especially given we have a Caracas to protect it.
Yep.
I'm going to keep. And a Prismatic Ending to force it through if opponent has a 1-drop, or 2-drop, I guess. You'd like a Force effect. Ooh, Aether Vial.
Island Vial.
Probably Merfolk, which makes me think that Ragavan's not going to get through anyway. They'll have creatures. And I kind of want to get the Vial out before they do anything. That said, you don't really need to stop the Vial until turn 2.
Yeah, they did mull to 6, so they might have a little less material. Yeah, maybe it's okay to just jam the Ragavan.
Yeah. I'm just going to play the Ragavan. I'm with you. Although...
We can cast their Merfolk, which might be relevant. And this Ragavan even just trading 1 for 1. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Daze.
I'm right with that.
Mm.
But Ragavan got dazed and not the ending.
Yep, I'd much rather get the Vial off the table. The other thing is this could be Esper Vial.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Basic Island without a fetch land makes me lean towards Merfolk, but it could be Esper Vial. That said, I am going to play around Daze here. If they have a force, they're probably forcing. Is it like a Curse Catcher? Rashad Dockhand. Okay.
Oh, Island
So
Walk.
It is Merfolk. And not going to Brainstorm here.
Agree.
Although, I could Brainstorm.
Hand's like pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to, like, they're going to Rashad and port, I think, my Volk, so I think there's a chance I Brainstorm when they tap it.
I agree with that. We don't have an instant in the yard, and we can add.
Well, so I can cast Snapcaster and then Prismatic Ending the Dockhand.
Oh, that's interesting.
If I want to do that. I kind of want this to get a blue source, though.
Yeah, we do have a Caracas, so yeah, I do want a blue source as well.
I think I'm just going to Brainstorm.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Oh, this worked out quite
Ooh.
well. So what are we putting back here? Snap seems kind of bad now. Is it crazy to put back Iteration too?
I
think it is
can we get rid of Force of Will? I think I don't really want to draw Force because we have like so many 1-for-1s.
Okay. I'm doing it to protect against their forces, but it could happen that
I'll have like 1 card left. I'm not too worried about it if they'd have that.
That's fair. So I could obviously Swords right now. I think it's a lot better to Swords in their end step because they might plan around like using Rashad and Dockhand.
I agree.
So that's why I'm going to do it the way I'm doing this. Activating Mutavault. Wild. Okay.
Weird.
Do I kill the Mutavault? They activated the Summoning Sick one too. But like you weren't going to attack it in my 3/3 anyway, right? I don't know what that was about.
So.
I don't really understand what happened there,
okay.
but here we are. Do I want a monkey? I mean, it's kind of good now. I get to dash it. I guess they can animate the Mutavault. That's like still fine by me, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm in. I'm in. Cool thing with 4 mana, you can also dash the monkey, attack for 2, then Caracas it, and hard cast it on the second main phase.
True. Although I want
or with the
mana
treasure,
here, so I think I'm just gonna offer the trade.
Yeah, not this turn, but in general, that's like a cool thing you couldn't do in Modern.
Definitely. Or you mean in Legacy? When I tried Ragavan, I loved Caracas in the deck, so I think Caracas and Ragavan is an underused thing. Stifle my Ragavan trigger.
Oh, let's go.
Deal.
So in.
Am I brainstorming here and risk getting locked? I think that's okay.
Yeah, sure. You have like the
I mean, I have
expressive
DRC
iteration.
and iteration. Like, I'm just, even if I'm locked, like, I'm not locked. So I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm. Actually, another DRC is like pretty good. It's just so hard for Merfolk to come back from that.
Yeah, that's probably fine because we can like iterate, and then that'll like we'll be like pretty happy if we find a land off the iteration.
Yeah, I mean this is perfect.
Yeah.
What do I want to put back? I'm thinking snap and plow.
They're all so good.
I'm thinking snap and plow.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Are we breaking this fetch?
Yeah, I was thinking snap and plow, get red white, and play DRC, and then just have iteration in hand.
Yeah, okay. I think we're gonna win one way or the other. So
I mean, I agree with
probably
you.
fine to like apply pressure here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just want to
It's
slam the door.
plateau. Yeah. Good plateau spot here. We wouldn't have been able to do what we wanted to do to like be insulated against Wasteland.
Yep.
And cast the Darcy. I felt like not really concerned about Wasteland with this 8th dual land, so that feels very good.
Definitely. Well, and now we've got them on a 3-turn clock. It's going to be very difficult for them to race. They can do it with Mutavault, but just going to be hard.
Yeah, as long as we don't break a fetch, they don't have that clock. But I guess Darcy can, or Ragavan can even just block.
Do I want a land here to play?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't really think I do either.
I just want removal spells.
Ponder, I'm going to leave.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, these work out nice.
Yeah.
So, would I rather draw Ponder or Brainstorm? I think Brainstorm is better here, given I have 2 Ragavans.
Yeah, I agree with that. That makes a lot of sense.
And Zeb Hillard has seen enough. I appreciate you, Zeb.
Zeb's dead. Zeb's dead.
That's a good Pulp Fiction reference. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was a great one. I had to capitalize on that.
You did. I appreciate it.
It's right there.
Grim Lava Man seems pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Alpine Moon to take down Mutavault or Cavern? I don't think I like it.
I agree that I don't like that either.
I think all the Force of Wills are terrible, even though they're a daze and they probably have Force of Wills. I think they're all pretty bad.
Yep, I agree with that. Also,
is,
Containment Priest a consideration for Aether Vial?
It is. I think I'm happy though. Like right here. I think I'd rather have the Alpine Moon than this Force. I think the one of is fine.
Okay.
I could see leaving in
lands are pretty good.
Yeah, I could see leaving in like 2 forces just to be able to fight against their Force of Wills and stuff. But we board in Pyroblast, like we do have that ability.
We're so low to the ground right now.
Oh, this is a great hand.
We have 4 ending, 4 plow, and 3 blasts. Like we'll just kill everything in this matchup now.
All right, are we leading on Ragavan or ending here?
I like.
I think I'm gonna Ragavan.
So this is a.
I think the daze thing again is a reason to Ragavan here because I don't really even care if Ragavan gets killed.
I think we should have considered Plateau there, so we can play 2 white spells next turn.
Okay, that's valid.
Like another good case for Plateau. It keeps coming up, like over the Mystic Sanctuary.
Yeah, I mean, I
need to convince myself because the rest of the world is doing it differently, so I want to.
Well, the rest of the world
tally the amount of times.
The rest of the world just copies something, right? So opponent has an island in their hand. We know they have a basic island in hand. I'm gonna get Tundra.
Yep, agree.
Force Will here would be annoying, but like not that annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, they do have a force. All right, well, Tide Shaper's gone.
Yeah, as long as we don't get Wastelanded 3 times, I'm okay.
Got 2/2 in. Nice.
Yeah, forcing being a mind rot, that's fine. Like Aether Vial, like I don't even want to like fight over Aether Vial anymore.
Yeah,
Kill
I
all
kind
their
of just want to
creatures.
let this go. That said, ooh, Brainstorm's really good here. What do you think?
They probably
I
just
still
play
think,
Strand and then kill the 2/2.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
and then just
you
have
sure
like
we don't want to get rid of Aether Vial?
I think they have 2 cards in hand.
Yeah, okay. I don't hate it.
We also have 0 clock, so like, yeah. But I think we should go for ending now. Oh, okay, never mind.
I was gonna plow. The only reason I'm like really thinking about killing Aether Vial is that they forced to protect Aether Vial, right? So it makes me
Yeah. They're probably light on lands, but I factor that in, but I don't know if I care about that.
okay. I can buy it.
Reason being, now it's a little different because we have a clock now, but we just had like nothing going on, so I was hoping the Aether Vial would just be a land.
Yep. All right, so I'm going into second main because I can't attack anyway.
I agree.
How do I
Want to get red white here?
Yeah, I kind of want to just get plateau here, just sacrifice that I'm giving up the fetch because I have a Dragon's Rage Channeler, and I think I want to get rid of the Aether Vial at this point.
Okay.
I think that's the only way that they really come
Just
back.
to keep some velocity, maybe.
Yeah.
Like I don't really want to draw another land that badly here.
Well, they also only have 2 cards in hand, so like they can't even cast their stuff necessarily. Ooh, Brainstorm's still a good draw. I think I'm keeping it. I already have Delirium.
It's a consider. Yeah, okay. There's a consideration if they draw Wasteland.
They have like
that we'll
Fluster
just draw
from
another
here?
Wasteland.
Oh, days. I don't know. I can't pay for it. No, I mean, this is fine.
Yep, that's
now I know
fine.
they have 2 cards in hand, one's an island. Like, I guess you can have your Vial. I mean, it's not amazing for us, but whatever.
Yeah, as long as it traded with a card, I'm alright with it.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Like our card quality is really high in this matchup.
I am going to main phase a Brainstorm here.
I agree.
Do I want the fetch?
Bin that.
You want to bin that? Yeah, I don't think we need another land. It's not horrible to draw land here, but ooh,
Yeah.
this is not good. So I think I'm gonna put Brainstorm back on top and then Tundra on top and play the Volk.
Okay, so we have a dual land that we want to mill away right now. Is that
Yep.
how you ordered it? Okay.
So if I cast something on their turn, I won't upkeep. Otherwise, I do. I guess I have Brainstorm, so like if I draw it, it's not.
Yeah, you have Brainstorms. That's okay.
I still think I'm supposed to. I'm gonna end a turn Brainstorm here. They didn't do
Yeah, okay.
anything.
Yeah, because it's like okay if they counter it.
I definitely don't ever want to draw another land in the rest of this game.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is a really good draw.
Yep.
So I'm drawing Brainstorm for turn, which is good. I take that. Let's combat. And then hope. I guess if they force, it's like not that big a deal. They're left with no cards in hand. I agree. And they can't daze me, so I don't know what they can have here. Oh, they have conceded. Yeah, you know when someone's casting a Murktide and you're not beating a Murktide here. It's just such a quick clock. I wonder... There's been matchups where Murktide's bad, but there's been other matchups where Murktide would have been really good. I wonder if the right number for this Legacy deck is 3.
It could be 3, but we had Darcy. I knew that I know that Murktide is good when Darcy's in play.
That's definitely true.
My issue with it is if Darcy died, it just like took forever to get online, and if you draw 2, the second one like did very little because your velocity is like a little lower.
Okay.
Because like we didn't really want to like fire off brainstorms willy-nilly without Darcy. So like not only were we not milling, like the cantrips are also a little weaker. Like with Darcy, it's like you're always incentivized just like fire all your cards off. So it works incredibly well. But then the Darcy's like helped us find the Murktide because we like dug through our deck so effectively.
True. I mean, Dragon's Rage Channeler and Brainstorm's deranged.
It
People are out here talking about like Ragavan needs to get banned. I don't even know if it's the best one drop in the deck. It's definitely like the best one against the like Days Wasteland starts, but there's a chance Dragon's Rage Channeler is stronger still.
Yeah, it's nice that it's at least a consideration between the two.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
means you have a really high power deck.
I think that just goes to illustrate the point though about Brainstorm like even more, right? Like, well, all right, you ban one of them, the other one's still great, and why is it? It's like, oh, because I get to play Brainstorm. Like, I think if you want to really try to hit these blue-red decks, like I don't know, people would say ban Days, but we literally aren't playing Days, and this deck is still amazing. So
and really low to the ground and
Yeah.
highly interactive, which is what I wanted. Like all of the cards scale really late into the game. It scales very well.
Yep.
Which is a good case for not playing Days in this deck. If with in the Delver deck though, like the Days is really good because you're like racing to the finish line with Murktide, and you have to like combine your Lightning Bolt, actually like kill them before you die. But like this one, try to have control of the game the whole time. On the play, let's go Ragavan.
No Ragavan. That said, I still think this is a keep. This hand seems quite good.
Yeah, I think so too. All the cards are so generic and cheap. Like every hand seems really powerful. Like, have we mulliganed yet?
We mulliganed against Dredge. I know that.
Oh yeah, yeah. So only like when we need to so far.
Yep. Oh man, crack Scalding Tarn, get a Tundra. This is a legacy for me. This is peak legacy. Oh my.
Ponders have been insane too. Maybe we're just running hot, but it feels.
No, this is about. I would say this is about how Ponder feels.
Lands. Yeah, like we do have a lot. We have 18 lands that make colored mana, so that is a lot.
Opponent is going to discard, or they no, not this. Okay,
well, try to. That might be their.
They could be playing Reanimator. This seems very, very fishy here.
Yep, I agree.
Could also just be Dredge again, I guess.
Yeah, that's also true.
Well, let's see what they do. Delta could still be Reanimator.
Yep.
Reanimators tend to play Delta because Delta looks like a blue fetch, but is black. Okay,
yeah,
definitely.
They were like tanking too.
Something's going on here. They probably drew their discards thing or whatever they needed.
Yeah.
Looting maybe.
Yeah, their line was like they had the chance to do this.
Oh man, you usually want to counter Ritual. Do I Brainstorm here?
No.
You usually get yourself into a lot of trouble if you let this resolve. That said, I think it's okay because I have so many Brainstorms and Tomb. That one I probably want to counter if I can.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Okay. Well, Prismatic Ending's not the card.
They're probably getting Gristlebrand, right? Making
Definitely
the plow like kind of medium.
Yeah.
Is it worth sending plow back and then just going back to the well?
I mean, does like Teferi do anything or iteration?
It pitches to force.
Okay. I mean, I have 20 things to pitch to force. I can also get rid of Snapcaster. Snapcaster's not doing anything.
I think Snap could be good. Oh, I don't like that.
I mean, I don't think it matters.
It's an instant speed threat.
Whatever. If we counter this, we win. If we don't, we're going to die. That's what's happening here. I think. The other thing that's awkward is if they
play on. We'll play on if we counter it. Yeah, we're in rough shape probably since they went for the Ritual.
Do I counter, or like, do I... No, I guess I'm brainstorming now. I've committed.
Yeah.
force.
I think it's the right line to fight over Entomb and not their extra thing.
We have whiffed. Well,
that's all right. Narset is a way if they don't magically have thing to do. At least stop Griselbrand. We're probably dead.
well, I'm scared of Sire of Insanity. I'm gonna do this, I guess.
Oh,
Put
okay.
those back.
Yeah. No, that's a good call.
It was Griselbrand. Big zoom. I will say Mono Black Reanimator is the one deck in the format that can use or get a Griselbrand in play and then still lose. Unmask pitching Griselbrand, sure.
So they have 8 free ways to discard. They have Unmask and Grief. Is that right?
I don't know if they're playing Grief. I would assume they are.
Yeah.
But I don't know that to be fact.
I don't want another graveyard 8 card in the board.
I really don't think you do. I think it looks like you do, but it's just because of the decks we played against. Although, given how popular Uro is, I think a second Surgical is warranted. So I wouldn't hate 2 Surgicals.
Yeah. The original list also didn't have Snap.
They pitched 2 Thoughtseizes? Cool. That is wild, okay?
They're also playing Careful Study. That deck doesn't play Daze, does it? If it's blue-black Reanimator?
This deck could play Daze. It's very possible.
Okay. They got to show us.
They pitched 2 Thoughtseizes. Just I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. I don't think we're dead. Like, I think we're still in this, which is the wild part. And I think my brainstorm I did correctly.
Yeah. No, that was right.
There's 2 Arcana Cruelties in the graveyard. Don't like that. That's probably gonna get us, but whatever. I'm hoping to find a force. Okay. Stinks to bin the expressive iteration, but I think the force is like our best shot to win. So they got a full grip.
Yep, we're in rough shape, but yeah, you're right. We do at least have a shot here. I don't know about those Snowlands. They're taunting us at this point.
Getting griefed. Okay.
Oh, also on your surgical comment, maybe it's not surgical because you're boarding in a 3rd Narset in those matchups. So like, and then you have like Prismatic Ending as well for Uro. Like Uro might not actually be that big of a deal compared to like other fair matchups, just because you have 3 Narset.
Yeah, so I agree with you. Although, if you were playing Graveyard Hate, I do think it would be a surgical. Just because of that.
I think it was that or Graph Digger's Cage, number 2.
Yeah, I mean, those are the clear options. I don't think we saw enough blue cards to warrant Pyroblasts. But a lot of my deck doesn't do anything. I don't think Prismatic Ending has text.
I agree. Fairy seemed kind of bad.
Teferi? I think it's better than Jace, but I agree with you.
They probably both come out. Also, maybe we just don't have time for Murktide. There's another blue card, so
yeah, okay.
Does have text for that.
I mean, the Planeswalkers have the same text, so I'm fine with it.
I'm only thinking about that with respect to if we can get like a Pyroblast.
Torpor Orb is actually a consideration, given that we saw Grief and Arcana Cruelty. I don't hate Torpor Orb. It's not like amazing though.
Yeah, it's probably a little slow by the time it comes down. It might not be what we want.
I'm going to keep this hand. This is the type of hand that loses to them just having a nut draw on turn 1. But
yep.
I mean, what are you
I
gonna
agree
do?
with you on surgical extraction now, just so we can get a clock down early, since it seems like there's only 3 turns that actually matter. Yeah, that might be the right call.
Surgical is just really good in Legacy. I mean, it hits Loam, it hits Punishing Fire, like you saw it come up against lands. It hits Uro. And even against the Uro decks, sometimes you want to take their Loam if they're filled with a dead deck. Alright, this is kind of what I was scared of. Oh, they don't have it though. Nice.
Ooh, okay. Maybe we can hit a Thoughtseize.
Let's see what I hit off of my Ragavan
Yep.
before I make any drastic decisions here. A Grief. Interesting. Alright, I'm not doing very much with that. Do I want an Iteration or Ponder? Or play Dragon's Rage and then Ponder?
Kind of like Dragon's Rage into Ponder.
Okay, I don't hate it. Don't want Plow.
Yeah, I agree.
Even though it's like not terrible against Archon. Oh boy, any order shuffle, yep. Alright, we
Rough.
big whiff. Ponder for 4
Yeah,
lands.
because like
in my
we
20
could
land
have hit
deck.
the we could have hit like Grafdigger's Cage.
Grizzlebrain got exiled, that's not good. I think we are in trouble. I think there's gonna be something bad in the graveyard or in play here for us in a heartbeat here. Probably a Grizzlebrand.
Yeah, I think I want another it's a graveyard hate. Just because like so we like didn't mulligan a lot in this tournament, but most of the times we mulligan it's just because like we didn't have enough hate cards for the matchups. Kind of like Tron and Modern, where like you want to be insulated in the matchups where like you have to mulligan to specific things.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Like even the artifact decks, like where we have Meltdown and Null Rod, like I don't feel compelled to play a third like kind of just ranch type card because like we don't have to have those to win. We can just like interact with them fairly and be okay. This is not the case for this deck in Dredge though. They can just like kill you on turn 1 or 2. Yeah,
Yep.
I think I agree with you. I like the second surgical. The Alpine Moon might not be needed. That might be a card that we don't have to play.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, this is close.
Interesting. All right. Well, we got clowned in round 5 there, which is unfortunate, but I mean, Reanimator does that. This is the thing with Reanimator is they have some draws that kill you really quick, and sometimes they get you. And I do think it's a good matchup for us. That is certainly one of the matchups for not having Daze hurt you. Like Daze would have been way better there than any of the other things we could have had. So that is one of the things you're giving up not playing Daze, and not having Daze is also going to hurt you a lot against decks like Storm or Doomsday. So part of the trade-off we made to be better against the other fair decks, but when you're a meta with mostly fair decks, I think it's a fine trade-off to make. Cal, your thoughts on the deck outside of the second piece of graveyard hate we want in the sideboard going forward?
Yeah, overall, I think the theory worked out pretty well in practice. I was happy with how the deck flowed overall. I'm preparing for a paper tournament, so I expect a lot of wastelands, and colors weren't really ever an issue, and most of the hands were pretty consistent. There were a lot of spots for the plateau, so that was great. I didn't really miss Mystic Sanctuary at all, so that was nice. Fairy actually kind of underperformed overall.
It did,
I don't know
but
if that's necessarily needed.
I was gonna say it did underperform, but you didn't play the matchups where it'd be good.
That's very true. That's very true.
I mean, we played some pretty weird matchups. Like Dredge and Merfolk are not typical Legacy, at least in today's meta. I mean, they're definitely historical decks, but they're not decks you see in paper a lot. Dredge is a deck you'll see Manaless Dredge, but not LED Dredge very often.
Yep, I agree with that.
But anyway, I thought the deck looked good. I'm sad we didn't get to play against like a Bant or really a Mirror. But what are you going to do? So, overall, I like the deck. I still think Narset looked really good.
Yep.
But I think we could also play Narset and Bant, so I don't think that's ruled out, although maybe you get a little clunky in the 3-drop spot there. But I think it's something worth considering.
Yeah, that was actually one of the reasons I liked this deck, as opposed to some. So most of my legacy testing is just gold fishing against myself, and with Bant, I had a lot of hands where I just had to mulligan, where it's like the game doesn't start till turn 3, which we died on turn 3 a lot, if or like the game was kind of decided by that point.
Sure.
So I liked that we like started by threatening them off like right out of the gate. We had like really good filtering. Like I didn't really miss what was happening too much, like compared to the Uro stuff.
And that's valid. That is going to be this deck's huge advantage over Bant, is that Bant is just slow to get going. Bant is trading early game for inevitability. So it's interesting. I do wonder how good this deck is against Bant. I feel like I would be favored against it with my Bant builds, but I feel like that against every deck, so it's hard to actually count that as relevant information.
That's fair, and I'm glad you said that. I think it's probably a close matchup, and I think it's going to be player dependent.
Totally fair. So anyway, I think that's a pretty good show for this deck. Pretty good showing. I think it's certainly a deck. I think if you choose to play this and it is a deck we play, you'll never be too wrong because it's just going to be a good deck. It's playing a lot of the best cards, so hard for it to be. Like, if it's the wrong choice for the weekend, hard for it to be very wrong. Yeah. Any closing thoughts, Kyle?
Well, I think in summary, after this league, I just really wanted to see if this deck had what it takes to play it on Saturday in a $50 1K. It's a high entry, so I didn't want to risk anything.
Sure.
So I'd actually feel pretty confident playing this deck, something very close to the 75.
Definitely. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. We really appreciate it. Remember, if you like the content we're making here, feel free to click like down below right there, and click subscribe. We would appreciate that as well. And remember, you can leave comments, request decks to be played in upcoming videos. We will happily do that for you. So let me know. And with that, we'll talk to you next time.